I know that this is a number 9 that we're going to be talking about next, but Heath Pierce is his number 1 fan. We'll talk about Ricardo Pepi since you brought him up. He's playing away to Sparta Rotterdam this weekend for Groningen. I'm curious, Heath, as to whether you think he's going to get the start after having a pretty good 45 minutes in their last game, which set up the match winner, a game they needed to win to stay relevant in, let's say, the title race. And I mean, that's pretty much Ajax or PSV at this point, most likely Ajax, but to at least maybe be hanging around mid-table and sneak into Europe. Groningen's got some work to do. Sparta, just so everybody knows, has 3 home games so far, only 1 win and 2 losses in those 3. So they're ripe to be beat, though they haven't lost to Groningen in quite some time. What are you saying with regard to Ricardo Pepi? Do you feel like he did enough in that 45 minutes to earn a start? Do you think that the coach is going to kind of continue to go with other people and he'll be that super sub?
I mean, I think he's done enough to earn a start. I think the good thing for him is he's stepping into an environment where he's got some competition. If you go back to when he was doing well in MLS, he had to beat out Franco Jara. He had to beat out Jesus Ferreira, and then became that guy. Like first 7-8 games of the season, it was Franco Jara starting over him or playing over him. He was the guy because he was a big signing. Now, and he won out in that competition with a legitimate chance, right? He did it with his, he didn't do it with talking. He did it with the action. And now he's got competition for that position. Another player that they purchased during the summer as a striker, German guy. And I think feels a little bit of that motivation of like, oh yeah, I see that guy. I mean, it's not Grillage, right? This is a different type of player that he thinks that he looks at him and he can look in the eye and say, I'm better than that guy. And I'm going to prove it day in and day out. And I think that's a great situation for him to be in. Now he's got to, if he gets that chance, he's got to reward the coach with taking a shot on him or a flyer on him. But I do think he earned it in his 45, the last game, with that assist that he had.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what kind of boost of confidence he gets from knowing he is now with the team and everybody knows, the U.S. team that is, and if that elevates his performance at all. I think that it will. All right, let's keep this moving. Go to Germany. We got 2 players representing different Borussia clubs. We'll start with Borussia Dortmund's taking on Schalke in the Revier derby, arguably the biggest derby in all of the Bundesliga. I'm sure Bayern Munich would like to be in that conversation in some capacity, but this one is a big one between the two. They didn't have this derby last year because Schalke had been relegated the season before, and now it's back. Borussia Dortmund, Charlie Davies, lost 3-0 to RB Leipzig last week, and then lost midweek to Manchester City. Actually, they had a pretty good fight in that one. They were up 1-0, and then Erling Haaland did Erling Haaland things, and they went City's way. Gio Reyna got the start against City. Do you think they're going to roll them out in back-to-back games, given that they've kept them in bubble wrap for so long, knowing that they only played midweek and now he's going to play again? I'd love to see him get rolled out again, but what are your thoughts on that? And I love that he has the possibility of playing in another intense environment because this is a proper derby.
I think he does start.
Nice.
And I just hope that it's a steady, consistent performance where he leaves the match healthy. That he doesn't have that
we don't care about goal contributions anymore. We just want the guy to be healthy.
We don't want another situation of Yunus Musa here. So I think they got spanked and he was on the bench against RB Leipzig. So this will be a good opportunity to start moving forward, gaining that confidence on your body, because we all know what a baller he is, absolute baller. So it would be good to see him get some quality minutes and then, come into the U.S. men's national team set up for the friendly, feeling good, feeling confident with a good amount of minutes under his belt.
Yeah, first time back with the team in quite some time. So I'm excited to see Gio Reyna get back into the fold and hopefully have fun. I just want to see him playing with a smile on his face. I mean, I want that for all of our players, but there's something about Gio. He just seems angry and probably
which can be good.
Which can be good. You can use that and parlay that into something positive. But I also like seeing him and others play with a smile on their face, and I hope that he can find that very soon and definitely with the U.S. All right, Heath, let's move on to Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Joe Scally looks like he's going to start in this one against RB Leipzig. Now, Leipzig played very well against Borussia Dortmund last week, beating them 3-0, and finally seemed to unlock that. Maybe that new manager bounce after they fired Domenico Tedesco, who was the guy that took over for Jesse Marsch. And now they got Marco Rosa in. Now, Marco Rosa used to coach for Borussia Dortmund, so he got his revenge against one club. And now he's going against Borussia Mönchengladbach, who he coached prior to Borussia Dortmund, so he can look to get revenge again. RB Leipzig did play midweek, though, in Madrid. And actually looked pretty good for some time, but Madrid does what they do, very similar to City. They figure out a way to win games that maybe they shouldn't at all times. But what do you think about this and Joe Scally? Because he's going to he's got some players. I mean, Christopher Nkunku could set up on his side. You could see him going up against Timo Werner. I mean, these are some top players.
But these are the big games where Gladbach, even though they are a historic club, they are a massive club in the history of the actual Bundesliga. They I think are more of your mid-table type of club in terms of the players that they have, and that gives players like Joe Scally an opportunity to get a consistent run of games without the pressure of it being a Dortmund where you might be, might not find yourself in the team because of the pressures on RB Leipzig. Play against an RB Leipzig, and it's an opportunity now to prove himself, right? If you're Greg Berhalter, when you made the comments about Malik Tillman and his performances, these guys are watching, right? It's not just Greg. He's got a staff of people that are scouts that are doing video breakdown, that are assessing these types of things in a way that we've never had before. So this is a chance for him to show that. Again, it's hard on one isolated game because I think they're watching them consistently, but to show that you belong, right? To not stand out, to be.
You still have to have moments where you prove that you're worth calling in. And this is, I'm going to jump in really quick
because in tight spaces, that might be playing through things, that might be defensively one-on-one when you're isolated. It's not so much at the result of the game because I think RB Leipzig win this one, but more of like those moments that you're in. Can you problem solve? Do you have the ability to think fast enough? Consistent enough? When you do have a dip in form or you have a bad pass, does it lead to 2 or 3 more bad passes? Those types of things for a young player that are really important for their confidence and development.
Yeah, I'm excited about this game because not only did I mention Nkunku and Timo Werner, but Dominic Szoboszlai is excellent. And for Joe Scally to have to figure out how to balance him and then have David Raum as their wing back for RB Leipzig.
He wasn't excellent for Jesse Marsch at Leipzig.
No, that's very true. But he was excellent for Jesse Marsch when he played at RB Salzburg. So I don't know what the contrast there. But the Szoboszlai Raum decision making, when to step and help out with Szoboszlai or when to wait and help drift out to the wing is going to be really good. And I'm curious to see how he handles those decisions. All right, let's move on from Germany. We'll go to Spain really quick. Valencia, Yunus Musa out, unfortunately. If you're just joining us, he's out for this game against Celta Vigo. He's also out for the international friendlies, which is a bit of a bummer. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Go back to the front if you missed that. Luca De La Torre is Celta Vigo. He's only played 10 minutes so far all season for them, so I don't expect him to start, but maybe he'll get an appearance at the very end. We'll see if he can get some minutes and turn it into something special. But let's move over to Italy now. We got 2 players that potentially could be playing. Serginho Dest, AC Milan, taking on Napoli. That game is a chef's kiss. What a game that is. They're both tied on top of the table with 14 points, 4 wins and 2 draws, 0 losses. Atalanta also has the same record. Dest is getting these last 10 or 15 minutes of these Champions League games so far. Still waiting to get that start, but the players in front of him are doing pretty well and obviously have a ton of experience, not only for their club, but for their country. Calabria in particular represents the Italian national team. And so it's going to be tough for him to break into that team. Dest, though, just came out, Charlie, and said that he wants Milan to make his move permanent from Barcelona. So that's a good sign. We'll see how Milan responds to that publicly. And then on the other player, Weston Mckennie is slated to start against Monza, the newly promoted Monza, just sacked their manager. So maybe there's a new manager bounce there for them. Juve travel on the road. They've only won 2 games in all competitions so far. Juve lost midweek. And in that game midweek that they lost, Weston Mckennie was the second worst rated player on the whole team behind Dusan Vlahovic. So I guess he's in good company there at the bottom of the table, but he actually got jeered when walking off the field because of his performance in that game. I hope he starts against Monza. The one thing that you need when you don't play well is another game to look forward to and to perform. Your thoughts on Weston Mckennie or Serginho Dest, Charlie Davies?
I think for Weston Mckennie, this is an incredible opportunity to play against a team with no confidence. They have 1 draw out of 6 matches and 5 losses. This is an opportunity for him to take some risks and go get in the attack, get on the score sheet. We all know how important he is to this group, so we just want him to be continuing to play and have an impact, which he certainly can if given the chance. So this is an awesome opportunity for him to shine. And then I think when a player like Serginho Dest, who gets loaned and has a comment like that, that means they're really enjoying it. They've had a great conversations and they can see themselves there for the future. So it must be a drastic change from his Barca days, because you would never say that and rule out returning to Barca unless it was head and shoulders better than but head and shoulders experience is better than being at Barca. So
hey, He came on for Brahim Diaz. I didn't watch the game, but did he come into the midfield or into the attack, or did he come in as a fullback and there was some changes? Because he was
Great
from
question.
what I saw. I didn't get a chance to see it, but he was subbed in for Brahim Diaz.
I didn't get a chance to watch either, so I have no idea. I would assume he was playing as a more advanced right winger.